Alright, Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, to honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all like Akim wa Akwa, learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. Now, this video, from the inspiration of the Spirit, I'm doing this based off of the elder Tazadakba, literally one of the top elders here in Great Millstone, the elder brother with glasses, who's really good with the history. The brothers, the elders, Slakia, that go out in Connecticut. He had made mention in one of the recent streams, he had made mention how the Blaxploitation film era saved Hollywood from collapse. And so I went and did some searching and come to find out, it's a true statement, obviously, right? Or the elder wouldn't have said it. But that's why the apostles and elders tell us to look up the things that we hear when they say them. Don't just take everything for hearsay. And so what I'm going to do is only 8 minutes. We're going to let this whole video play. And by the time it's over, this video will be over. But we're just going to go to show you, us, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all of our pain, blood, and suffering went into building up America. Babylon the Great, the mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. We built this place with our blood, our life, and our fucking souls, and we don't get an ounce of credit for it. We don't get an ounce of credit for it, god damn it. So let's get a scripture real quick, and we're gonna let the video play. Alright, hey, I'm gonna get that one out of Zechariah to kick it off. These devils have profited off of us, and they try to pretend like they didn't. Zechariah 11:5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. So literally, this man has gotten rich off of enslaving us and using us as tools in every format you can think of, literally. And come to find out, Jake saved Hollywood. Jake saved Hollywood, y'all. Let's see the proof.
Welcome to the Flag Bearer channel. This is Little Known Black History Facts. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. How Blaxploitation films saved Hollywood. They say that Shaft is a bad mother. Shut your mouth. Those are the words from one of the most famous and successful black films of the 1970s. When the advent of television had become increasingly popular in the homes of average Americans, the growing popularity of television shows presented traditional movie theaters with steep competition. This meant there was less money fueling the industry, thus creating a decline in filmmaking and profits. By the 1960s, the golden age of Hollywood had met an unceremonious end. Many of the stars of the era were retired, and others were dead. It was clear that Hollywood needed some new blood to survive. In the 1970s, the major studios had yet to recover completely from competition from the recently invented television technology and the doubling of film production cost. The major Hollywood studios' combined distribution of 400 films per year dropped to an average of only 250 per year. This low supply of films hurt them. To combat the decline, they changed their strategies. They needed to minimize production costs by making smaller, more specialized movies or produce a giant blockbuster hit. Blaxploitation films resulted. Movies like Shaft and Superfly were very low-budget features targeting a very narrow market, the African American audience. Many white filmmakers made handsome profits from the black.
So right here, I'm only going to stop it a couple times. So we see that after the 1960s, the golden eras of movies, what came about? The introduction of home television. Therefore, Hollywood was struggling to keep up and was going to financially collapse. So what E decided to do was to create smaller budget movies and target them towards Jake to tap into that buying power. So that's all that Blaxploitation was about. Put niggas on screen in front of niggas so niggas will go buy it so that everybody else can get rich. Simultaneously, they were promoting a demonic and unholy imagery of what a black man and black woman and Latino man, Latino woman, Native American man, Native American woman, what they should be, and who was absorbing all that in and adapting it as their new culture, the Israelites. So not only did he get rich, but he helped brainwash Jake on what they should be. And when you go to this, let's go to this. He used us for his gain, and the scriptures warn us of that when dealing with this man, y'all. Let me see. Right here, yep, Sirach 13 and 4. Yep, this is dealing with the rich man. You know, not to deal with him. And in this world, Esau is a rich man because he'll take advantage of you. So verse 3, it says, Sirach 13 and 3, if thou be for his profit, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. If thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yeah, he will make thee bear and will not be sorry for it. If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee and smile upon thee and put thee in hope. He will speak thee fair and say, what wantest thou? Right? And that's what this man did. So he gave us the illusion, oh, here, we're going to finally start putting black people in leading roles, and everybody come get your tickets. Yeah. Taking all your money and giving you a destroyed image. And then later on, we're going to see, you know, at the conclusion of this era, what did Esau do? You know, he pulled the rug up under him. And how? So let's take a look. So this man, he doesn't do anything for our benefit. He didn't give us a jab for the benefit. He doesn't give you welfare and health care for your benefit. Everything is to use you, to profit off of you, and then he will discard you. And our people still don't realize that to this day.
American audience. Many white filmmakers made handsome profits from the Blaxploitation era films. In the 1970s, black audiences and film productions featuring black actors resurrected an industry that was sinking. At that time, African Americans made up 30% of theater audiences, but large studios paid them little to no attention. Prior to then, Hollywood spent huge sums of money on films featuring popular white celebrities that promoted their cultural view of glamour and luxury. Towards the end of the 1970s, the idea of glamour and glitz was waning. People had grown tired of movies featuring Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers dancing, Esther Williams swimming and singing, and movies of that type. The golden age of Hollywood stars such as Clark Gable, Cary Grant, and others were losing their luster and star power. The biggest movie of 1963, Cleopatra, starring Elizabeth Taylor, flopped at the box office, even though it had an astronomical budget of $44 million. A huge movie budget at that time. The big studios were on the verge of possible bankruptcy. The major Hollywood studios were scrambling to reorganize and realign themselves with the rapidly changing film landscape. Facing dire circumstances, Hollywood executives began on a small degree to bankroll films featuring all black or majority black cast. In 1969, Hollywood rolled out Cotton Comes to Harlem, directed by Ossie Davis. The movie received a modest amount of commercial success. That modest success led to a formula to spend little money and gain big profits from producing black films. The result was the rise of what has been called Blaxploitation films. Melvin Van Peebles is known as the father of the Blaxploitation film. Van Peebles ended up making one of the most controversial movies in American history, Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song.
And so notice, like, these are Edomites, y'all, and especially these are Amalekites who were creating these movies. That's why in the media you see the same archetype, the hood nigga, hoochie mama black woman, and the destroyed children. Who set up that image for us to call our culture the so-called white man, which our people have adopted?
Considered the film that sparked the Blaxploitation era in Hollywood. Initially, the film was screened in only 2 theaters in the United States, Atlanta and Detroit. It went on to gross $15.2
Hey, of course, here in Detroit, ain't that some shit?
million at the box office. But it was the financial success of the movie Superfly that shocked Hollywood. The film was made on a $500,000 budget, but earned $11 million at the box office. As a result,
so imagine that, y'all, $500,000 movie, low budget B movie, made 11 mil. You know, imagine building a car for $100 and selling that bitch for 10,000. Shit, I'll be building cars, nigga. And so that's how Esau started. That's why Esau started pumping them out. All right, or he allowed Jake, because, you know, there's a couple Jake that directed him too, but he would give niggas the green light to do it. But it wasn't for our benefit. It was for his benefit.
The industry began flooding movie theaters with knockoffs, carrying similar themes. Most directors and filmmakers were white, while the actors black, but it was the first time since Hollywood's inception that blacks dominated top-billed movies. In response, black moviegoers rapidly consumed the films that featured blacks in dark and urban landscapes, fighting the man or the system. Once movies...
And that was the premise. That's how they lured Jake in. And that's, you know, oh, see, it's black people in the movie. See? Oh, black people. You know, that's what lured Jake in. All right? Let me get that. Proverbs, is that 14 and 15? The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. All right? And so when you're dealing with Esau, you can't just take shit on face value. Or any of these heathen. You can't give your enemy the benefit of the doubt. If I'm a dog, I would never I'll rephrase that. If I was a mouse, I would never give a cat the benefit of the doubt. Okay? And they don't. When the last time you seen a mouse hooked up with a cat? Never, nigga. Always on the run. Tom and Jerry was always beefing. Jerry was always cooking up a plan to embarrass him or trap him to get away from him, so Tom couldn't eat his ass, man. And I'm being funny, you know, the cartoon show, but it's true, man. Never trust your enemy. You niggas still ain't learned. Put a couple black faces in there and niggas got happy. And now look at us. Now look at us as a people. And, you know, these movies alone isn't what destroyed our people. You know, we have responsibility in that as well. But this definitely did contribute. Niggas went from learning their ABCs, watched the Superfly, now they want to be Superman. You know? Threw their whole trajectory off.
Blacks in dark and urban landscapes, fighting the man or the system. Once movies emerged casting blacks as leads and in more culturally perceived roles, ticket sales skyrocketed. This was the life-giving breath that brought economic life back into Hollywood. The profits from Blaxploitation films literally saved Hollywood from total bankruptcy. The films were financially successful and had finally placed black actors in leading roles, but they were also criticized for the romanticized depiction of poverty-stricken communities and rampant problems like drugs and crime. Sadly, many of these films featured people who often lived in the underbelly of the American economy. Blaxploitation films celebrated and made heroes of pimps, prostitutes, pushers, hustlers, gangsters, ex-cons, hitmen, preachers, and militant revolutionaries who triumphed over the white establishment within the corrupt and racist system. These films were originally aimed at an urban African-American audience, but the genre's audience appeal soon broadened across racial and ethnic lines. Hollywood realized the potential profit of expanding the audiences of blaxploitation films. Hollywood invested in blaxploitation films to save the industry just until enough movie theaters were built in the suburbs so that they would no longer have to rely on inner-city African-American audiences to buy movie tickets.
And so that right there, that's when Esau pulled the rug. So he got all that money that he could, built up theaters in the suburbs, and then pulled all the theaters out the urban areas. And is that not something we still see to this day? That's something that's big out here in Detroit. A lot of the old theaters, you know, they're either still closed down or they'll just turn into, you know, night bars for the bikers and shit, right? And all you brothers and sisters, you live in other metropolitan areas, you can testify. I'm willing to bet yourself. All the old theaters in the hoods are shut down and closed. And where are if you want to go watch a movie, where you got to go to? The Burbs. Say I'm lying. So that's how they pulled the rug from under Jake, man. They don't give a fuck about us. They don't do anything for our benefit, for our turn, or for our good. And this is and these devils, they pretend like we're just, you know, nothing, nobodies. They grabbed us up from Africa. No, y'all grabbed us and used us and let us drive everything you could get out of us. And now that you've used us, now you want to sit over and want us to leave. Nah, you created this mess, homie. You're gonna have to deal with this, and the Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to plead our cause against you. And I'm gonna get this real quick, just out of the law, because the law tells you, you know, this man done kidnapped us, stole us, and made profit off of us. Well, what's the judgment for that? Exodus 21:16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. And we are still found in this man's hand today, and he has used us, and he has made profit off of us. Matter of fact, you go to Joel, what does it tell you? All right, hey, so Esau, you have a punishment coming, man. You like to pretend like we're just grimy niggas who just woke up and started shooting at each other with pistols. Well, where did pistols come from? Where did weed and alcohol come? Who made it legal for weed to be smoked in most places and dispensaries and all that bullshit, right? Joel 3:1, it says, for behold, in those days and at that time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. So Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, they're going to pull us out of this captivity. It says, I will also gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So they took us and took our land and sold us around worldwide and made use of us. It tells you in Revelation, you know, they sold gifts to the nations, which was what? Us, our bodies, us as slaves. Revelation, the 18th chapter tells you that this nigga, you know, he has, what is it, cinnamon, gold, ivory, slaves and souls and men. This is all Esau's doing. All right, verse 3, and they have cast lots for my people, so they sold us, literally, and have given a boy for an harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Right, so they did all these things to us to get profit off of us. Your blood, pain, and suffering is their profit. That's how they get down.
Tickets. The broad reach to international audiences was also a market in which studios would significantly recoup their profits. While most of these blaxploitation films received backlash in the black communities for presence of stereotypical characters, they represented one of the earliest examples of the use of black actors, and these actors were the heroes of black movies. In response to criticism, studios and directors defended blaxploitation movies by saying that they were simply fulfilling audiences' demands. A good portion of those movies also represented studios' efforts to target what was for them a new market, African Americans. Now,
I will say some of these movies are, you know, some dimes, some good, you know, Uncle Tom's Cabin, The Spook That Sat by the Door. Some of the movies were, you know, they have pieces that we use against this man to prove our case against him. But, you know, the outright majority of them was just straight nigga shit, bro. 70s style nigga shit. You know, poofy hair nigga shit. You know, it didn't do us no good.
Blaxploitation era, black actors rarely had leading roles in widely distributed films. With the arrival of blaxploitation films, they often could choose their roles, and frequently the storylines were built around their respective characters. In spite of the negative reactions on the part of many in the black community, they continued to be produced, as Hollywood recognized that these movies brought huge profits. These blaxploitative films at least eliminated the mammy and low-profile images that were characteristic of blacks in the movies made by Hollywood before this era. Some believe that the blaxploitation trend was a token of black empowerment, but others accuse the movies of perpetuating common white stereotypes about black people. As a result, many called for the end of the genre. The NAACP joined forces with the National Urban League and the Southern Christian Leadership Conference to form the Coalition Against Blaxploitation. This organization called for an end to the film genre, and by the late 1970s was successful in doing so. Today, black-led projects are still underfunded and undervalued in Hollywood, despite the fact that black film projects often see higher returns than other projects. Blaxploitation films produce some of the best soundtracks of the 70s.
So that's right, you know, that's mainly it for the video. So I wanted y'all to, you know, the Elder Tazib Dakba had mentioned it. So I wanted to, you know, put it to wax. So you see, you know, that's not just a myth, that's real, y'all. And that's how this man Esau is. He makes use of us, and then he gets up out of there, and we're left destitute and with fucking nothing. Neighborhood destroyed, minds of people destroyed, and bodies destroyed. But you know, Jake not trying to listen, man. Let me see. So, hey, that's about it. I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Kakurash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, peace, blessings, and salutations to all elect Akim wa Akwath, learning, teaching in truth and sincerity. Shalom.